Hello, I'm Michael Bisbiglia. I've been a numerologist now for the past 27 years. I'm a native Californian, native Bay Area person also. Been here all my life. I've actually never lived anywhere else. I'm a registered minister. I actually helped found a church, I think back in 1994. And so I can perform weddings and things like that. Been a life coach about the same time I've done the numerology, so I enjoyed that. Really enjoy coaching people. And I'm a published author. Have a deck of cards that I help publish called the Ultimate Oracle. And I've been involved in metaphysics for probably 30 years at least. I'm kind of an inventor, and I know something about a lot of different metaphysical things. I'm sort of like the metaphysical trivia man, and so and in my readings, I really combine a lot of astrology along with the numerology. They kind of go hand in hand, and so I kind of got started years ago. I was just investigating a lot of different things, but not really knowing what I wanted to really focus on. And I asked the question, what is the basis of life? And actually, what happened is I started investigating Pythagoras, and all of a sudden the thing of numbers came up, and I had actually bought a book about 5 years prior to that. Didn't even know why I bought the book, but then I says, oh, hey, the light bulb went off. All of a sudden numbers were it. It was what I was looking for, and it made sense. And then I started my basically self-taught numerology. There didn't seem to be anybody around that I could learn from at the time, so I just kept reading books and books, and I think I have like 50 numerology books. But I would find gems of information in each one of the books that was a little different. Someone would bring something new to the craft when they had written the book, and I have picked all those gems out of all those different books and kind of created my own form of numerology. And then about 10 or 12 years ago, I was actually given some information that wasn't written in any of the numerology books. A fellow had come to me for a reading, actually, and he was in pretty bad shape. He was going to go to prison. He saw me doing the numerology, and he says, I do numerology. I says, really? I said, well, here, give me a reading. And in one word, he summed my life up. And I go, wow, I want to know what you know. And then we started kind of working together, and then we had parted company, and he's since passed away. But he left me with a really informative type of information that helps people on a much deeper level than in any of the other information that I've ever gotten. So that kind of makes my readings a little bit unique. I enjoy helping people find out why they bothered to be born. That's one of my favorite reasons for doing numerology, and I feel like I'm helping heal the planet that way, one person at a time. It continues to be fun. I love to talk, so, it's one of those things that you can talk for hours and hours on. And it will cover every aspect of your life. If you've already had a numerology reading and, from a online thing or something, then, when you get my numerology reading, you'll see the difference. You'll wonder, you'll think that you actually had a reading, but after I get done with you, you'll be very impressed that a lot of people tell me, I never realized there was that much information, and you see how you can apply it to your life more. My ideal client is a person that is open to receive information. And it doesn't have to be specific or anything, but someone who's either always wondered about numerology or has questions about it. I have a lot of people ask me what it is. There's a lot of people it's one of the most badly interpreted sciences. So it's people that become, they get a book and they're a numerologist, without really studying what it really means. And so someone who's interested in really wanting to know, how numbers really affect you, I have a lot of information on that. And I can help people in a lot of ways understanding the value that numerology is. Well, the most important thing I need is the name on the birth certificate and their birth date. Those are the two most important things that I need. Sometimes there's a little complication. People that are adopted have an adopted name. If they actually know the real birth name on the birth certificate, then I want that one also, and the adopted name. But for the most part, if you don't have it, then we just go with the adopted name, because the other one wasn't meant to be known at that time. And the birth date is the birth date. Usually we have that. I have some people that actually don't have a birth date. They're not sure when they were born. So it makes it a little more difficult. There are ways I have of kind of honing in on at least a year and month, and the day in that gets a little bit more difficult. But I have a series of questions that can actually help people know pretty close to, what their birthdays are. So personal readings, I do phone readings. And now we have Zoom and Skype readings, and those are kind of the next best thing. Our reading is usually in the beginning, and I need to do your chart. Once I have the chart done, I contact you, and then we set up a time that's convenient for us to do the reading. And like I say, first time readings can go an hour or more. And then after that, I have readings that would be for the year, like yearly readings. So on your birthday, a lot of people contact me, and then I tell them kind of how their personal years and months are shaping up for that, so they can plan things better. Well, they get a couple of things. First, they find out the biggest question is why am I here? People will always want to know that. I usually do that first and spend a little time on that, so they understand that the number that comes out of their birth date is the theme of their life. It's what everything revolves around. And secondly, there's a lot of validation for how people feel about things. They've always felt a certain way about a person or parents, or, why they can't, they're not good at science or whatever it is. And numerology gives you an opportunity to understand why that is. And it gives you your strengths and weaknesses. So and then also, when we get into relationships, people can understand what the dynamics are in relationships. So that's another area that is I also need the other person's birth information, and then I can do a more accurate type of thing. Sometimes people only have a birthday, or they have just a first name or something. I can give them a little bit, but it's not the same as having the birth information. It can be most sessions run an hour, half hour probably minimum. But I do offer little short things for just questions, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But I have had sessions go 3 hours very easily. In my life, I know when my birthday hits, I know the kind of year I'm going to have, and I can forecast that as long as I want to go. I also see what the months are, so I can plan, like if I'm going to plan a vacation, or I'm going to plan meetings for different things on certain days, because you can have better days to do things on than other days. It kind of dovetails with astrology. It dovetails with feng shui. It dovetails well, because all those other sciences depend upon numbers. So it's when you're dealing with numbers, you're already kind of on that same wavelength. I've had a lot of people that do tarot, and they'll do a reading for someone, and the person will come to me for a numerology reading, and they get the same information. And they'll wonder, well, how, the other person just told me that. I says, well, you're probably supposed to know that. Really knowing what your life is dealing with, and then sometimes why are you attracted to be somewhere? Some people, well, I just love this home or whatever. Well, it may be a home where there's a lot of life lessons in that home, and that's why you're attracted there, whether you are aware of it or not. So it helps bring awareness to things. It brings awareness to what a home may be vibrating at, or a business may be vibrating, or a business name. So people will, it helps understand what the pluses and kind of minuses are. If you get a lot of a number going into something, a lot of times you can get toward the negative sides of the numbers. I don't talk about them very much because I try to keep things on a positive wavelength. But if sometimes, yeah, things are there, and there are testing numbers. Oh, well, that's kind of an interesting thing, and I actually have done a little research in it, but there's probably a lot more that it's kind of almost a life study. But numbers are associated with parts of the body. There's in a name, the letters of the name are associated with different types of situations in the body, the lungs, the heart, whatever, and so. Yeah, you can use them to understand maybe if there's something that's out of balance, or something that may be indicative to the type of energy that you have with the birth name that you have. A lot of health things come through the name. First vowel of the first name has a lot to do with how you're dealing with health issues too. I've always wondered about numerology. I'm probably a good place to come to just answer questions. And then if you feel that you want to get a reading, then I'm always available, to do that. I have not found a computer program that I like that actually will give the explanations and things like I do for the numbers. And definitely I have not found one that has the information that I have. So that would be probably one important reason to come and see me. The other is if you've had a numerology reading from in anybody, then come and see me and tell me that you've had a reading, and then we'll have a little interview together, and if I start interesting you in things that you may not have heard, then probably you haven't had the in-depth numerology reading that I'm able to give you that the computer programs can't. Well, first, I would, however you contact me, by phone or by email. If you contact me by email, that's probably the best, because what I would do then is I will respond to your email, and I will send you a little flyer attachment that has all of my fees on it, and it has what I need is actually all written on there, and my payment methods and all that is on there. So you can just look that over, decide kind of what you want, and then email me back your information, and then I'll do your chart. After I have the chart done, I'll contact you either again by email or by phone or, Facebook or whatever happens to your favorite thing to connect with. And then we'll set up a time to have the reading, and whatever day of the week. Most of the time I read from Thursday or Tuesdays through Saturday. Right now, this is a 4-year. We're in 2020. Okay. 20 is the number of judgment. Okay, so we have double judgment this year because that's all flying around as everybody watches the news. It's a year of building on a solid foundation. So it's interesting that everything has been slowed down. So everybody has to be patient. And this is a patient year. It's also a year of justice and injustice, because 2 and 2 is 4 in there in the 2020. And you have a hidden 22 in there. Okay, so there's this, 22 is called a master number in numerology. And so there's going to be more intensity because 2 is a number of emotions. So you have double emotion this year also. So you have this patient year, but this underlying current of emotion that needs to be focused. If we don't focus our emotions, we become emotional basket cases, taking everything personally. And you know, that's kind of, and 2 is a personal number. So, I mean, we have all of these things are woven into that 2020. Now next year, 2021, we'll shift the energy. Now we're going to come into a 5-year, and it's going to be all about freedom. It's going to be about change also. It's going to be about unexpected change. So next year is viewed one of 2 ways. It's either a disaster or it's an opportunity. So in the face of whatever happens, try to remember to ask yourself, where is my opportunity? Well, the best way now to get in touch with me is to email me at readings1111@gmail.com, or to actually contact my cell phone anytime. Just leave a text message or a video message or whatever you'd like. It's 510-205-6007.